Dear students, a very good evening. I think we are meeting here after a long holiday, and of course, this holiday has been most fruitful for us, which I believe. Because never in your life you had spent your holidays learning so many things and at the same time presenting your skills in a newer way to such a huge audience. Our sessions, like a summer camp at home, had been one of the most successful sessions we have ever arranged. And like a cherry on the top of the cake, there was the session with Bobida that gave fulfillment and a level of satisfactions I could never feel in my life like this session. So our holiday is past and we had spent it with utmost efficacy. Now is the time we resume our regular studies, and this time I will begin with a story having a highly moralistic message for the readers and those who will hear it from you, of course. So now this story is written by Guy de Maupassant. Maupassant is a spectacular short story writer, and he is a French by birth, and the very particular characteristics of his writings is that he has chosen simple quotidian elements from our life, made it a story with a message, and this story is not an exception to it. Here also you will find a simple uh, lower middle class couple. They are leading their lives, they have certain expectations, they long for something, there are certain limitations, as all those lower middle class people, they can feel themselves connected to the story because they also feel life the same way these couple are feeling. Their implications, their desires, their backdrops, and their shortcomings. All these things are so alive, so practical and pragmatic that we, within a very short time, before we could even imagine, we can find a connection with these characters which are written, mentioned in the story. That is the beauty of a writer. You have to write something, choose your topic in a way that can cover a huge mass, and that's what Maupassant did. Now he is here to show us why there is a shortcomings and why there is sorrow, disappointment, anguish and despair in our life. See, disappointment comes only when you expect something. This was said and mentioned long ago by Lord Buddha. Here you can find the same thing. If we run after what is unattainable, tragedy will be our consequence. Here also you can find the same thing happening with the couple named Mr. and Mrs. Loisel. Mrs. Loisel, that is Matilda, she was born in a lower middle class family of clerks, but from her very girlhood, her childhood, she had a high hope. She craved for so many things in life, and she used to think herself deserve a particular, see herself deserving of all those things which she hopes, which she longs for, which she pines for. But by and by, as she grew up, she understood that her fascinations, they have no base, because there is not much financial, economical support. Without that support, the thing she craves for can never be attained. So she started becoming disappointed, she became despair, and she also started to feel herself to be someone who is inferior to those who have access to a greater wealth. Wealth in the terms of monetary. Don't think it metaphorically, this is monetary wealth. Such type of character is Matilda. And when she was married to another man, Mr. Loisel, who is also a clerk working in the Department of Education, then she thought that I have no meaning in my life. There is no such way that can lead me to the fulfillment of my dreams. So at every step, Matilda used to feel disappointed and dejected. And that happened because she had high ambition, and especially she was trying to attain what is unattainable for her. So tragedy, disappointment, despair, that only emanates from your desires. The more you become desirous, the greater is the possibility of encountering tragedy. So it is better you take life as it is, flow with the tide, try to enjoy every second of your life. Feel blessed that you are alive today, and you try to infer and extract happiness from every single incident that you are encountering. Only then the same life which sometimes seems to you unbearable will become really a trove of happiness. So let's see how the story tells us about all these things. The name is Diamond Necklace. Very significant name that suggests a necklace that is costly, fascinating, and this is something we all, most of us, we crave for. We desire to have one. Oh, if I had a diamond necklace, if I could wear it and show others. Why do you need it? Because you want to show it to others. It is not enough to have everything. The next thing that breeds in your mind is that I am not satisfied with all I have. So what to do? I need to show others, especially those who doesn't have that scope to access to such costly things, who can never attain these things. I need to show them that I have all those things which you pine for, which you desire, but you better know that you cannot have it. Only then I can feel satisfied. That is the source of sorrow for all of us. So in the introductory part it is written that Matilda is the charming wife of a clerk who dreams of a life of leisure and luxury. When she is invited to a grand ball, however, she feels miserable, for she does not have a gown for the occasion. She manages to buy a new dress and borrows jewelry from her friend. However, fate seems to have other plans in store for her. That you will read how fate brings an unwanted, unexpected twist in the life of Mr. and Mrs. Loisel. And this is the particular twist from which they will learn a lifelong lesson. And we will also learn a lifelong lesson from this story. Now, Matilda Loisel was one of those pretty, charming young ladies born as if through an error of destiny. Why through an error of destiny? Because Matilda's wish, her longing, her desires. The level of desire she had and the level of economical balance, the level of economy in which she was born, they never matched. Especially the level of poverty in which she was born, they never match. She had high ambition, but little scope to attain those things. That's why a particular person who is having so much ambition in life, if that person is born into a family that is suffering from poverty, that is struggling with poverty, that can barely meet the both ends, then it is really an error of destiny. That's why it is written. So into a family of clerks, she had no money, no hopes, no means of becoming known and getting married to a rich man. She allowed herself to marry a pretty clerk in the office or the board of education. She suffered. Why? Yes, of course, she will suffer from inside. The thing that will every second pinch her, like the pin of an old shoe, the thing that continuously pinched, kept on pinching Mrs. Loisel, that Matilda, you have no other means to attain your hopes. So this is the desire, unrestrained desire, unrestrained ambition, which kept on pinching Matilda, telling her that this is not the life for you. These are not the things you deserve more. So now, let's read. She suffered, for she felt she was born for all the fine, beautiful things of life. She suffered from the poverty of her apartment, the shabby walls, the worn chairs, and the faded hangings. She had a rich friend. This is very much troublesome. This is very much problematic for a person having high ambition but low means. If that person is having a rich friend, and if that friend has access to all those things which this Matilda craved for, then it is really a misery for her. It is really unbearable for her, because Matilda craves for something which she cannot have, which is completely beyond her reach. At the same time, if her friend is having access to all these things which she cannot have, then it is really something that will continuously make you feel inferior, disappointed, dejected, like that. That also happened with Matilda. Whenever she used to visit her rich friend, get surrounded with wealth, opulence, pompous display of wealth there in the house of that rich friend. He used to watch all those costly furniture, costly hangings, everything and everywhere, every inch of that house bore the proud presentation, proud decoration, an advertisement of wealth, especially. That's the what I was searching for, advertisement of wealth. She used to feel more and more dejected. That's why she seldom used to visit that rich friend. Never, seldom, very seldom she used to visit. Because every second and every time she used to visit her friend and come back to her same old home, the whole house seems to humiliate her, show her that you, Matilda, oh my God, it is a pity that you don't have access to all the wealth which your friend is having, which your friend is enjoying. That's what is happening with Matilda. Now, one evening, Yes, a schoolmate at the convent, whom she did not like to visit because it hurt so much when she returned to her own poor apartment. I told you earlier. One evening, her husband returned looking excited. In his hand was a large envelope. "Here is something for you," he said. She quickly drew out the printed card. So, see, this husband, the particular man, Mr. Loisel, is very much attentive and is very much careful with his wife. Because, see, he is coming back home after the day's work in the office. What we can imagine that he should be fatigued, weary, languid, enervated. He should come home and get rest. But see, the enthusiasm of that person in order to make her wife happy is praiseworthy. He is coming home at the day's end and he is not showing his tiredness, his fatigue. Rather, the moment he reached home, he gave something to his wife in order to make her happy. What was it? That's the question. Let's see what it was. Now there was a printed card. What was written in the card? The Minister of Public Instruction and Madame George Ramponneau request the honor of Mosier and Madame Loisel's company Monday evening, January 18, at the minister's residence. So the venue is the minister's residence. Date, it's January 18. Day, it's Monday. And time, it's evening. There is a ball. There is a party which had been thrown by the Minister of Public Instruction and Madame George Ramponneau. So when such sort of people throws a party, this party is characterized with particular dress code. If you want to attain such party, you need to maintain yourself with a presentable dress. Especially a particular dress code is there in order to attend such party. Those dress code you have to maintain. You have to buy those dress if you don't have it. Otherwise, this will be so foolish of you to attend such party. People will laugh at you. They will throw you out from that party. Generally, these parties are arranged to advertise your wealth. This is the place where people find a scope in order to advertise their wealth, their taste, their garments they are wearing, the jewelry they are wearing, and what kind of life they are leading, how much rich they are. This is the scope to show others, this much rich I am. That is my lifestyle. So you can imagine that you need a particular type of refinement in terms of clothes, jewelry and all other things, shoes, your manners also, your behaviors also. If you want to attend such party, you should have and you must have access to all the things that are required for that party. So here from the story takes a new turn. An cycle of events starts from here. And all this will happen. And you will know the consequence of it also. Remember one thing, that everything was started all because of Matilda's unrestrained desires. So later we will read what happens with Matilda. Do they attend the party? What happened in the party? How did they have access to all the things that they needed in order to attend such a party? How did they arrange all those things? Did they really have such store of money, such saving in their bank that they could buy those things? We will read it later by and by. In our next class, I will be explaining it in detail, vividly before you. Until then, I hope you will read it carefully. The moment you face any kind of problem, don't hesitate to convey it to me, especially during the live online classes. This is the particular opportunity for you in order to make your doubts clear, in order to get your doubts cleared. So you do it during the live online classes, and it will be my pleasure if I could clear your doubts. Really, I will be happy. I will be the happiest man being a teacher if I can clear your doubts. So that's all for today, students. We will meet again. Till then, ta-ra.